Well, hi there. I'm Diana Montford, the world's first, count me one, the world's first transgender television journalist. Born male, became female. Look us up on YouTube. You can see shows dating back to 1991. Well, lesbians. Let's talk about lesbians. Let's talk about lesbians. Dee-dee-dee. But anyway, my guest is the lesbian mother of a lesbian daughter. How's that for interesting? And we're going to find out about her journey from being a heterosexual married woman to being a lesbian married to a woman, and which obviously if you were a lesbian you wouldn't be married to a man. And her daughter is also a lesbian. And me, I'm the beaver. No. And anyway, my guest is the lesbian mother of a lesbian daughter, Ms. Claire Richter. And here she is, Ms. Claire Richter.
Hi.
So, now, you have an interesting background. Come closer.
Okay.
I'm not making it fast.
All right, go ahead.
Tell me about your grandfather.
Oh, okay. My grandfather was Roosevelt's chef when he was governor of New York.
FDR.
FDR, yeah. That's about it. And he was also on the Queen Mary. He was on the ship.
That's
he was
pretty
a chef there,
impressive,
too.
Roosevelt's chef, you know?
Yeah, I always thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've talked about food, let's talk about lesbianism. Now, you were married to a man with whom you had a daughter.
Yes.
And then you discovered you weren't into men.
Well, I think that it really started much earlier. I remember childhood instances where I was attracted to women, but sort of put that wherever.
Well, excuse me, didn't they tell you, oh, you'll get over it?
No,
All young girls are
no,
like,
I never expressed it. And also, my mother never hindered me in any way. I was very much a tomboy, and she was encouraged. She would climb the tree after me.
Good
she
for
was,
her.
yeah, and she was a school teacher, and she was a songwriter.
Cool.
But she never hindered me and never formed me to get married and have children. I was never brought up that way at all. I happened to fall in love with this really cool guy. We were also very good friends. We became best friends. And we had a daughter. I actually lost a daughter a year before I had Jackie.
Oh, I'm sorry.
At birth. But then we had Jackie.
Jackie's your daughter.
Jackie's my daughter, Jax. And things changed. I changed. I had gotten a nanny who was gay. And suddenly I was exposed to a whole other world. In addition to that, my ex-husband's best friend was a very wealthy realtor in California, so we got to stay in the Joan Crawford estate, places like that. So,
well, that's appropriate for lesbians.
but I was exposed. Yes, but I was straight then, and exposed to
Maybe it
this
was in
whole
the air,
male gay culture.
Oh yeah,
wealthy male gay culture that I had never been
Billy
around.
Haynes and all the gays.
I wasn't around any of it before. So this is a whole new world. But then when I had my nanny, that changed everything because we'd sit and talk for hours. And she said, you know, this is something you really have to explore. And I remember not sleeping that night and talking about it with Bert the next day.
Maybe she was making a pass.
No, she was not. I tried.
With her?
Oh, yes, I definitely tried. She was wisely turned me down, very wisely. And I then put an ad in the Village Voice in the Personals and got a response from another woman. I got many responses, which was a whole other trip. That was a whole other experience anyway. Mainly bisexual women who wanted to have their husbands there. Not what I was looking for.
No.
So this woman contacted me, responded. She had lived in Forest Hills, was married to a husband, had 2 daughters.
And you were born in Forest Hills.
And I was born in Elmhurst, but I lived in Forest Hills.
Okay.
So we had we were on the phone for hours, and then we met up at Network, and all I did was talk about my husband the whole night. And she had to get up and make calls at home for her kids. It was not the right match, but we ended up being lifelong friends.
That's nice.
So that led to other people and other instances, and then go ahead from there.
And then you met your partner.
Well, I met somebody else who was actually a singer-songwriter, and that didn't work out. I have commitment issues. And then I got a crush on this other woman who said, you know what, I'm going up to my friend's house in the country, come with us. She'll pick you up. And I said, great. And I had a major crush on this woman. I get in the car and it's Dawn. And
Dawn is
my partner for 30 years
right.
now, yeah. So
it was her house and she was
it
driving
was her
the car.
house and she was taking us up to see her, to spend time. She had a chocolate lab. She had the house in the country and the chocolate lab, and I had the kid.
Chocolate Labrador.
Like, yes, chocolate Labrador. So
otherwise, she could be Willy Wonka.
This is very true. So we went up, and then going up there, I found out she had been a photographer. She was a teacher. She had done flea markets. She did all the things that I had been involved with one way or another.
Right,
and I was
right,
a commercial art agent representing photographers, and I
right.
did photography. So we really clicked on many creative levels and laughing. We just laughed all the way up there. And then I remember that night we were trying to decide who was going to sleep where. I was trying to arrange so I could sleep with this other woman. And Dawn ended up sleeping with Jackie, which was the funniest part.
Was your daughter already out as a lesbian?
No, not at all. No, as a matter of fact, telling Jackie that I was gay was an interesting experience because I was putting her to bed one night and I had said, you know, Jackie, there's something I really have to tell you. Now, preface that with my ex-husband ran a moving company that catered to the gay community called Model Moving. He moved the quilt all the time.
Oh, dear, yes.
So she was around gay men all the time. So I said, Jackie, I'm gay. And she looked and she said, you kiss women? And I said, yeah. And she said, anybody I know? So I mentioned a name and it was like light bulbs went off. She went, oh! And then without missing a beat, she put her hand on me and she said, Mom, if anybody bothers you, I'll take care of it. You tell me if anybody tries to hurt your feelings. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Well, she also brought up in Chelsea. So that was her initial response. And that's before she came out. She knew anything about, well, I shouldn't say she probably did, but that's long before her coming out story.
Right. Now, you left your husband.
Yes. He moved out.
And Dawn moved in?
No. There was a period of time of a couple of years where I was seeing other people, I was dating, and then I met Dawn. So I can't say that, you know, it was just one experience.
Right.
I was around a lot. And I was lucky because Bert would be able to watch Jackie on the weekend, so I could, you know, sort of touch base in that respect.
Wasn't he hurt? Didn't he say, how
He
can
was
you do
terribly
this
hurt.
to me?
He was terribly hurt. To this day, he's probably terribly hurt. But he's still stuck by me. He is my best friend. He is my oldest friend. He's always been very supportive. That's just the kind of person he is. He always was. He knew about Jackie before I knew about Jackie, because she could talk to him, whereas I didn't want to know about that.
Right.
You know,
Did you blame, in quotes, did you blame yourself for Jackie's being a lesbian?
I questioned it. Yeah, of course. How could I not? You know, and I know it's a harder road than straight life. So it's not something you want for your kid. At least that I'm talking about the 80s now and the 90s. So it was a whole other experience.
Even today, if you had a choice and you had a child, you would want them to have the easiest, best life they could have, you know.
Yes, but now my attitude would be different. Now it would be a little different than it was then. I think I was still too closeted myself to be able to be totally free about everything. I was brought up for, you know, French Catholic.
Right.
Turned out to be a Jew, but I was brought up French Catholic in Catholic school, so I still had that sort of hanging over my head somewhere.
Part Jew.
Yeah, part Jew. Well, my mom. So.
Yeah. But I mean, and having been to Catholic school myself, yes. And but I was drugged and raped by a priest when I was 6, so I sort of got the idea what the deal was. But anyway, so now you and Dawn got together.
Yeah.
And then what?
It wasn't easy in the beginning. We were dating, and that was great. And I didn't really introduce Jackie to people I was dating unless I was going to be serious.
Right.
So she hadn't really met a lot of people. So when I introduced her to Dawn, it was when we went up to the country. And they just hit it off. Dawn was always great with her.
Well, you keep talking.
Yeah,
I'll be
no,
right
Dawn was great with her. She would be able to be the mommy when I wasn't. She was the food mommy.
Meaning she cooked?
She was the one that cooked, yeah.
Okay.
So it was a really loving environment.
I just want to
Oh, sorry.
do something. You ate something and it left a little mark.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Here.
Thank you.
You were saying?
It was good until, Jackie hit her teens. And then all hell broke loose.
Just because she was a teenager, or because she was a lesbian teenager?
Everything. Sort of everything. A lot of things were open up to her, and being in New York City, and she was going to performing arts school.
Oh, great!
Yeah, and then we had a fire.
That's the Fame School.
Yeah. We went to we were in Cape Cod. We came back, and the apartment had been renovated. They put gates up on the windows, etc. And that night there was a fire, 4 o'clock in the morning, and the dog Gypsy woke up, and Dawn got up and said, "There's a fire in the hall."
Oh my God.
And I jumped up. Dawn got Gypsy, went with Gypsy, and I ran towards the end and got Jackie out of her room and got her in the hallway. And then I realized Dawn was still inside. So I left Jackie in the hallway, and I ran back into the apartment down the hallway, and I said, "Are you out?" And she said, "I'm out. We're out in the front." They got out the front fire escape.
God, yeah.
I ran to the kitchen to get out the fire escape there.
Right.
They had put gates up. So I turned around, and all I remember hearing was smoke rises. And I have a 30-foot hallway, and I was a commercial art agent, so I had both sides of the wall covered in
flammable art.
Flammable artwork,
Yes.
Thank you. That managed to attack me. So I took a deep breath, and I ran down the hallway. I fell.
Jackie had already left.
Jackie
the
was
building.
outside.
Okay.
No, she was outside the doorway. I got to the door. I opened the door. I saw Jackie. She saw me. We had eye contact, and the ceiling came down on me
Lord God.
in front of her. And that was about the age where I lost my mother. And she thought she was losing her mother. And then the fireman came up and got me down, and I played piano. I remember being in the ambulance looking at my hands, and the skin was like down like a Cupid doll. Well, they're fine now.
Yeah.
And we were in the emergency room, and they heard Jackie. Jackie was in the same emergency room as I was, and they said, "How old are you?" And I said, 40. And she said, "That's my mom." And the guy said, "This one's not going to make it." And I said, "Yes, I am."
Oh my God, they actually said
I
that
know.
in front of you?
Yes, I am.
And in front of your child?
I don't think she heard it. I never asked her that.
Oh my God.
But I remember just thinking, "Yes, I am." And then the next thing I said was, "Could you knock me the hell out, please?" Because that's when the pain started hitting.
Right.
So I was in the hospital a couple of months. Dawn, who'd I only been going out with a few months,
Right.
could have walked away, took Jackie in, would come and see me every day, took care of us. When I got out, it was like a whole new relationship all over again. And we moved into a new apartment in Stuytown where Jackie lives to this day.
I love Stuytown.
Jackie just got managed to get Jackie that apartment
Isn't that
in her
great?
name.
Yeah.
So we're lucky. We're really
Yeah,
lucky. There's
thank
been
God.
there's bumps. There's all bumps. There's life.
For everyone, you know. That.
Physical stuff. But basically, we're really lucky. We're really
Well,
lucky.
knock wood,
Yeah.
But that's great. Now, did your husband ever say to you, I don't mind that you're a lesbian, but do not take my daughter
No,
with your lesbian friend?
just the opposite.
Oh, he did.
He adores Dawn. No.
No, but I mean, he
Even
didn't.
before that, no.
Okay.
No, he was always.
He could have
he
got
would-
really nasty in
he-
divorce court if he
Bert
wanted.
could have done a lot of things,
Yeah.
but he didn't. And I'm lucky in that respect. But no, he didn't. Not at all. And I went out with a woman that was one of the first legal cases with her son. Her husband tried to take her son away from her.
Yeah. Well, in those days, it was an
It was
unfit mother.
It was
Yeah.
very, very common.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in those days, have you seen that movie, The Children's Hour from 1962?
God, yeah.
Where Shirley
That
MacLaine
was my
hangs
first
herself.
exposure to lesbianism.
This is not a positive message, you
No.
know? I mean,
I'm gay. I think I'll hang myself now.
Yeah, after she confesses her love for Audrey Hepburn. Well, we all love Audrey
We all
Hepburn.
love Audrey
So should we all do this? No. she goes and hangs herself. And poor Audrey breaks open the door with a candlestick in a gorgeous coat, I might say.
Yeah.
Yes, double-breasted navy blue. Yes,
always
she looked fabulous. Even in crisis, her hair was perfect. And she sees poor Shirley hanging there. And luckily, or unluckily, her boyfriend, James Garner,
just happens to be standing.
and he takes her away with a big protective patriarchal arm around her. And no doubt she went on to a happy life as a desperate housewife. Okay. But anyway, you know, Diary of a Mad Housewife.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
So it just interesting. The period also was the 80s in New York, and the dance scene and the club scene. And
but there was a lot of anti-gay feeling because of AIDS.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I had a friend that I had made, and they brought him to St. Vincent's. And I went to see him, and first of all, my friend wouldn't come up with me. And then when I went to go to his room, the nurses were warning me. And then when I went to hug him goodbye, they positively looked repulsed.
Yeah.
And literally got out of my way as I left.
Because now you were
seemingly contaminated.
Yes.
I couldn't express the anger that I had when I left.
But weren't you afraid?
No.
No?
No. I don't know why I didn't. I probably would be now, but no.
Did people already know how AIDS was?
I had friends who were dying.
No, yes. Well,
Yeah.
we all did. But, I mean, did you know how it was contracted? Or?
No. I was as careful as I could be. I kept anything away from my mouth. If it doesn't touch your orifices, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know, this is my...
But they also said it might be in the air or something.
They said so many things.
I was at a club in 1981, and I was 25, in case you're doing the math here, and the designer Perry Ellis walked in. He had AIDS. I'm ashamed to say, me included, we all migrated back to the opposite wall, looking at him as though he were like this ghost.
Yeah.
And we were appalled. I mean, appalled at how he looked. He looked, first of all, he was a young man and he looked ancient.
Yeah.
Which was surprising, you know. And it was just, everybody was like, oh my God.
That's how most people were then.
Yeah.
That's how most people were. That was a horrible, horrible time.
Well, they called it GRID then, and it was like the gay cancer. But you knew it wasn't cancer somehow, because it didn't quite act like that, you know?
I don't know. I didn't know. I just saw the pain that it caused.
Well, and St. Vincent's, where Clara's friend was the epicenter of... Yes.
The whole floor was all AIDS patients, and they put the trays on the floor outside the... It was horrible. Horrible.
Oddly enough, it's now a high-end luxury apartment building.
Yes, now it's condos. You too can live here.
Can you imagine the bad vibes? You know,
right?
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, they could give me the whole building. I'd say no thanks.
That'd be an interesting place to do some testing.
Yeah, well, sure. Psychic testing.
Yeah.
Although they gutted the inside, so there are new walls inside. But the outside is still...
The shell is there.
Yeah.
The spirits, or
it
whatever
absorbed
is
the
there.
pain and the sorrow.
I believe in that.
And the hospital has existed since 1840 or so.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you should... In the 60s, when I was a child, I lived near there, and there's this gorgeous St. Patrick's-like Baroque emergency room entrance. Oh, my God. They tore it down in the 70s to build this characterless, modern box of a place. Ridiculous.
Wow.
So anyway, but yeah, you were brave, you know?
Didn't think of it as brave. Honestly, didn't think of it as brave.
Well, I'm trans, and I thought twice about, frankly, all right, in the late 70s, I was an actress, and makeup men used to lean over me for an hour, breathing into my face, doing my makeup. When AIDS started to be an issue, I thought, oh my God, all those men were breathing in my face for hours. I'm dead. I thought, you know, they must have given it to me from, you know, all the detail work they were doing. Oh, thank God. It wasn't. No, but paranoia arose.
I know.
It was really crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, and they really used to inhale and exhale on you, and, like, they'd be doing your mascara, and it would be like sex. They'd be right on top of you like this, you know? So, I mean, it was weird, you know? Sex with a makeup brush. You know? So anyway, so what can I say? So, are you happier as a lesbian than you were as a straight person?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'd settled a lot of things that I think were in flux for me about being a woman and who I was. And I think that all just, I remember walking down 7th Avenue between 21st and 22nd Street, and I had just gone to my first, gay meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember feeling like my feet weren't touching the ground.
Because you'd met others of your own
Because I
kind?
met other women, and I felt like things suddenly went into place like this in my life. As to who I was always looking, always trying to find identity through astrology or whatever it is I was looking for. And it just, I remember the moment, feeling like my feet just weren't touching the ground. I was just so happy.
Pity the poor people of previous generations who married in a heterosexual world, had no clue they were lesbian or gay,
And stayed there the rest of the day.
and just knew something was wrong but didn't know what.
Yeah.
Sad,
Eleanor Roosevelt, I always go back to her.
Yes. Although she seems to have known she was gay,
Yeah, well, she did. Yeah, but she wasn't much she could do about it in public then, anyway.
No, God, no. No. Boy, was that a disgrace. I mean, they could lock you away in the insane asylum for that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When Marilyn Monroe was fired in 1962 from 20th Century Fox, one of the things they were going to use against her was that she was bisexual and had an affair with her acting coach, Natasha Lytess. And they said, and that'll end you in the loony bin, honey.
You're kidding.
I'm not. I read it somewhere, but
Wow.
So watch it, girlie. Well, with the drugs and the lesbianism, you're up doo-doo creek.
I forgot the guy's name that just did a movie, but it was about old Hollywood, Scotty. And it was just about
James
all
Stewart?
No. His name was Scotty, and I forgot his last name.
Scotty Beckett?
Yeah, I think that's him.
A boy actor, child actor?
No. He ran a garage in Hollywood and catered to.
Oh yeah, the Hustler. Yeah.
He catered to.
And I mean,
everybody.
people like Walter Pidgeon and Lana
the
Turner.
Stories
Who
were
knew?
incredible.
Lana Turner.
I saw him live at the theater in the Village. Oh my God, he was incredible.
Like Katharine Hepburn.
Stories.
Okay.
Oh, and Spencer Tracy.
Can you
holy
imagine?
mackerel.
Spencer Tracy. Can you imagine?
Young boys. Oh my God.
Spencer Tracy liked young boys.
Yes. And he had to get drunk. That's why he was
I
drunk
know.
half the time.
And he thought that God had made his son deaf because he was gay.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Which is sad.
It is.
Really sad.
But good came of it. He found a school for the deaf. So it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But anyway.
John Tracy, yeah.
Yeah. But Katharine Hepburn is not exactly a big shock, let's face it. Lana Turner, though, well.
That was,
Whatever, right? Whatever floats your boat. And I mean, Tyrone Power, he said
that was one of my first crushes, was Tyrone Power.
Yeah, he was gorgeous.
And then I saw him with Ann Baxter, and I had a crush on Ann Baxter. That was the end of him.
Oh, well, there you go. I saw him with Marlene Dietrich. I could go for Dietrich.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But anyway, and she was flexible. She if it had a pulse, she was interested.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyway, yes, just a couple of weird Catholic chicks sitting around talking.
Sad as that. Yeah.
But anyway, so now
better Catholic chicks from Forest Hills.
There you go.
I
was born in Forest Hills, and
I'm from Elmhurst originally, but I moved to Forest Hills.
There you go.
Better known as Flunken Hills.
Is it really? Well,
yeah.
Whatever. No, it's really pretty. I love it.
It was always pretty.
Yeah.
It was always. I always loved
and
Forest
safe.
Hills.
It was safe.
Yeah, it was always safe too.
Yeah,
I have to say.
Only bad thing was that drive, to get from Manhattan to Forest Hills, you have to drive past a very large cemetery, and if it's late at night, you're not too happy with this, I mean, you see, it's like a big cemetery. It is. Oh God, yeah, that does tend to spook you sometimes, But anyway. Yeah, that's why I live in Manhattan now.
I'm in Chelsea.
Yeah, there you go. How gay is that? Hello.
I know, but it wasn't originally. It was the photo district.
Yes.
And the
flower district.
Yeah,
yes.
further up, yes.
But how cool is that? So anyway, what are your plans for the future? Come closer.
For the future.
You're leaning away and it's bad for the camera.
Because I just do that. For the future, I don't know. I'm sort of in flux. Right now I sell vintage jewelry, collectible jewelry, and I enjoy that.
Can you give like your contact information?
I'll give you my CRICH99 at AOL.com, better known as oldpeoplesemail.com.
Why is it known as
AOL? Nobody has AOL anymore.
Oh.
Only old people.
I guess.
So crich99 at AOL.com if you're looking for anything. Chanel, Hermes, anything at all. I've got it.
There you go.
Call me.
Yes, not that we're advertising, though. We're not allowed to.
No.
But she can tell you about it.
Yes, I can explain why you should be wearing pearls.
There
Yes.
you go. But
Faux pearls, yes.
Yes. But anyway, listen, those Chanel cuffs made of plastic, which were then called resin,
Yes.
worth a fortune. And Carrie Donovan, the fashion editor,
Yeah.
had a set. She loved them. And when they broke, she almost broke herself. She like wanted to jump.
She's not going to get him again.
No.
No.
And they're from the late 30s, so you're really...
She's never going to see those
Well,
again.
she's dead now, so...
That's another
she and her
reason,
Chanel
there's
cuffs are
another
together.
reason she's not going to see them.
Yeah, well, maybe she's with Chanel now, and Chanel's whipping up a set for her, you know. But anyway. But, okay. Gee, we're almost out of time. You make the time fly. You're a lot of fun. So, anyway, to all you married ladies out there, married to men, who might be lesbians, what do you say to those? Give them your number. No.
Well, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
What do I say to them? I say find out. It's only fair thing to do for both you and for your husband and for your relationship. And if you want to have a relationship with that person, that man that you're with now that you saw fit to marry, so you must have cared about him, you don't want to kill him. So find out what your story is.
And be kind when you tell them.
And be kind.
Don't say, I never liked it when we were in bed.
And if you find out that you're not into women, yay!
And if you find out that you are into women,
yay!
Yeah. And if you find out you're not into anyone, yay! Okay, my guest has been the lesbian mother of a lesbian daughter, Ms. Claire Richter, and she was once married to a man, and that's how she had her child, but now she's a happy lesbian. Anyway, I'm Diana Montford. I'm a happy transgendered person. And I hope you're happy too, whatever you are. And if you're not, well, we're your friends.
Buy jewelry.
Anyway.
It made her smile. See? It just makes you smile.
Oh, yeah, well, whatever. Okay, so, yeah. Anyway, my guest has been the lesbian mother of a lesbian daughter, Ms. Claire Richter, who loves jewelry and has been known to sell it at times. But we can't advertise. I'm Diana Montford. Even if no one else loves you, I love you. Take good care of yourself. See you next time. Bye. Good shit.
That was great.